enforce the rule and how we're going to go from there. So we're getting Joachim Hauge up to the line. I'm getting word from everybody that we're ready to go. Super excited here. So our first live run today. Joachim Hauge in that S15, lined up at Interlagos in Brazil. Lights on and away we go. Shooting into our first outer zone. Already on the line, a little bit over, but I think you're gonna have to send it that hard knowing that there are 13 people at a 90 or above. Other than that, so far, very smooth, very committed run, very deep in all of the zones. I think the word very just describes this run overall, Hex. What do you think?
I was going to say running it deep into that first initiation zone, and I'm hoping that he didn't drop a tire around the third zone because it looks like he was sliding just a little bit over, so hopefully the judges are seeing something that I didn't.
So as well, like I'm hoping the ambulance outside drives a little bit faster by my apartment. So Joachim Hauge here, we're waiting for a score from our judges. I'm sure they are reviewing that score already. High scores trickling in from our judges here. And we'll see what that score averaged out. I'm super excited. I think that we have a heater second run in if you're starting out with a score super high. And I think we're ready to go at 96 for Joachim Hauge on run one. What a start to live qualifying here. Now sitting on a 96. Hex, how hard do you drive?
You know, I think you just tried to mimic the same line that you were running earlier. I mean, how much better can you get than a 96, especially when judges are giving you 97s and then averaging out at a 95 right off the bat?
Yeah, it's crazy. So let's see here, and it looks like straddling that line even better, so not the little tiny drops I saw earlier. Super smooth, big angle, super committed. This is just amazing. I'm actually fairly speechless about a run like this. There's a tire drop I'm hearing. From my camera angle, which is a very distant angle currently, I'm just shocked at how smooth he is once he's at angle too. You can see he's making corrections, but there's no wavering, which is always a really great sign of a good run. Because what is it? What did they say? Smooth is fast?
Yeah, exactly. And you want to talk about setting the bar. I mean, what a way to start 96 off the gate. And we were already talking about drivers up in the 13 of our drivers already running 90s or above. I mean, he's definitely setting it real good for other drivers.
Yeah, that was definitely a good run. I think that second run was not as strong as the first, but geez, they were all just a ripper of a run, both runs. And that's what a way to start out live qualifying here for ESDA round 2.
We do have our score for our second run, so it looks like it's going to be a 90 on that run. So maybe that tire drop wasn't as bad as we were thinking.
Yeah, maybe not. Up next, we're going to have Sam next in his S15. Oh my gosh.
Beautiful looking car right there. I'll tell you what. Oh, listen to that thing. Go!
Making sure that the cops just keep wanting to come by.
Well, they know that there's a fire about happening in Brazil as lights are gone. Sammy approaching that first zone. Let's see. Flicks it in. Gets it in deep. Not shallow. Not dropping a tire. Sliding on over to second zone. Great transition here from Sammy. Can he find that gap? Closes it in on the first inner clip. Running it deep. Just a little bit more power here from him, and he's going to be finding a good score. Ran it in deep on that fourth zone and finds that clip. I think just a little bit more power there, and he would have gotten at least a high 97, but let's see what our judges have to say, Joe.
A high 97. We're going to have a conversation about, does a high 97 mean a 97.4?
Yeah, because I gotta remember our folks at home can't see our decimals and roundup scores.
That's a pretty precise. That's a precise estimate. I gotta say it. Good call. So yeah, we're gonna need to start adding back in decimals onto our graphics next season.
But we do have a score here. Slammed in a 90 from Sammy. Just find a little bit more speed, Sammy, and you're going to be getting that 97. I promise you here.
97.4 is what Sammy has his eye on here. 18 drivers, right? 18 or 19
18.
now?
We are 18 drivers with 90 or over.
That's obscene. That's just ridiculous. So Sammy trying to do better than a 90 on run number 2. Big initiation. Keeping it right at angle through outside zone 1, right on that line. Big smooth transition into outside zone 2. Couldn't left a little bit on the table there, but I think he's just so committed. So much speed, he couldn't get all the way in there. Last angle. There we go. But that's such a strong end to a run there. That was amazing.
Where I'm sitting at on the booth, I don't think he dropped a tire in that fourth zone.
I don't
Rode
think so
that
either.
line very, very well there.
That was a very, very solid run. I think that might be an improvement, but either way, I'd be happy. I'll just say that much about it. Up next, we're gonna have while we're waiting for our judges to get in here. We got Abdallah Abu Hossein. I'm sure I butchered that one. I'm so sorry. Abdallah Abu Hossein. There it is. As we're waiting, and I think that Sammy is going to improve on his score just barely.
Just barely an improvement, but numbers are in from our judges. Let's see that number.
And the number is 91.
Hey, I mean, with as cutthroat as it's been today, if you can bump yourself up even by 1 point in those 90 sections, that's going to be a huge game changer because we still have plenty of groups left to go here.
Sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't. And I believe we're finally ready to get some competition rounds on the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. Joachim Hauge, your #1 qualifier, coming off of an excellent run in round number 1. Going to be going up against William Holloway in the Kyle Mohan Racing RX-8, Monster Tricks RX-8. Joe, finally, it is time to see some drifting.
Let's see some battles here. Super excited to see it. And again, everybody here, judges, commentators, everybody has had some hurdles to overcome, so it feels so great to see these battles finally starting off as Joachim Hauge leads William Holloway in the first run of the first battle here at ESDA Round 2 at Interlagos. The lights went out. The drivers didn't go. There we go. As the drivers throw on in through the initiation, Joachim with a great lead. William Holloway tucking right on his door immediately through the first transition. No contact. Good to see. There's only 2 transitions here, so you really got to make sure that they are perfect. William Holloway, decent matching angle, very good proximity. Joachim Hauge trying to minimize angle almost to walk away a little bit, but William saying, no, 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 I'm going to push you across the line. So Keenan, that was a great first battle here at ESDA Round 2. What do you think?
Lots to talk about here just in round number 1, run number 1 of round number 2. I'll figure it out by the end of the day, folks. What I caught from that, Joe, is something we're gonna have to expect to see again coming up the hill. Williams almost straightened out. I don't know if it's enough for a 0, enough for like a huge deduction. I almost did the funny. I don't know if it's enough for a huge deduction, but definitely a little bit of straightening from that Chase RX-8. Just to make sure that Joachim didn't go anywhere. They're going to switch positions here now. We're going to see William in the lead and Joachim in the chase. Something else I caught there too, Joe, I'm not sure if you guys saw it on your end, a little bit of lag coming from that RX-8 because we are in European servers.
Yes, I did see that.
The majority of our drivers currently in this group are Europeans. So something they're going to have to keep in mind. Maybe Joachim's not going to push too much in the chase. We're about to find out. Run number 2 on deck.
It seems like Joachim he's worried. He's set back a little bit, so he's going to get a little bit more speed into the rip here, Keenan.
So Joachim now in the chase. William in the lead. Joachim maybe just a tire over. I remember Brandon Patrick was telling me that's good. Turn number 1's going to be an issue with tire drops. Might just seen it from that Chase S15. Little bit wavery in the lead position is William Holloway as Joachim's trying to keep the gap nice and close to the fastest part of the course. Big slow down, almost getting into the door of that RXA, a little bit shallow on the line was William Holloway. I would say nice job from Joachim in the chase. I'm not sure if there was a tire off there, Joe, in turn number 1, but that will, I think, have a significant impact on the rest of the run as William's done. Well, I don't know where William's going.
Oh, for sure. If the tire goes off, then it kind of seems like, yeah, it's game over at that point. And William, I don't know in that first run, Keenan, because Joachim was also cutting angle. That power alley, if you will, between outside zone, like inner clip 1, outside zone 3, outside zone 4. It seems all throughout qualifying yesterday, a lot of drivers were cutting a lot of angle because that's, if memory serves from my camera angle, it's really hard to see. That's uphill there, correct?
It is, yeah.
Yes.
It's
so you're
very
just
significant uphill, and on top of that, when you're chasing, you don't have the luxury of being able to throw as much angle as well. So it's a kind of a catch-22 situation. If you don't come out of that corner excellent, if you don't come out of that corner excellent with a huge amount of angle, you are in trouble going up that hill. So we might have to keep an eye on the chase vehicles. I don't think it'll happen so much with the leads, but definitely with chase vehicles, we're going to have to keep an eye on them and make sure that they are still sideways and still able to get that, not zero out. So I think it's going to come down to that. If there is a tire drop from Joachim, so unfortunately we had some technical difficulties with the replays. Get them all out of the way now, folks.
Yes.
But there is that potential tire drop from Joachim. I think it might even out with the mistake in chase from William, as well as William kind of just, at least in his lead. It was kind of hard to tell with a little bit of the lag, but not super smooth when it came down to line. Excellent. There's our replays. There's our replays, folks.
Oops, something went wrong, folks. It would not be an ESDA round if not everything was trying to fight us, at least at the start. So I think we are hearing in about judgment call here.
We do have a judge call.
Very excited to see it. So I heard it's a unanimous decision, in fact, Keenan.
I don't know who unanimous is, but he comes up with all the best decisions.
I know, he really does. So slide him left for walking home, so I'm right for William Holloway. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3 all the way. Unanimous decision for walking home, moving on to the top 16 here in Group 1 at ESDA Round 2. But Keenan, I hear again, drums over the mountainside.
Oh, man.
The ground shakes.
Again, it looked like he maybe just came off the handbrake, came off the foot brake a little bit early. Car darted in. He was a passenger at that point. But so, Kawane Ebank's going to be moving on against Brandon Gardner. That's your number 13 qualifier against your number 4 qualifier. But to get there, we got 2 more battles to go. Sami Saastamoinen against Alexander Jäger. Finland versus Sweden. This one should be a doozy.
Oh, love to see it. I'm going to say it. I say it every time. Love to see a Mark IV without a spoiler on it. And don't at me about it, okay?
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite cars in the grid is Alexander Jäger's Supra, but also one of my favorite cars on the grid is that Team VOSAN S15 of Sami Saastamoinen.
Yep.
It's I don't know what kit this is because every time I try to guess, Minty yells at me, so I'm just gonna stop. But it's got the nice wide arches in the back. It almost looks like a time attack car, but the only thing attacking is apexes and outer zones and the door of Alexander Jäger, who will be in the lead.
And I think that we will be very excited to see both of these drivers going all out here. Sami Saastamoinen in 28th seed, but so far that doesn't seem to slow down a lot of our drivers. Because again, you got to remember, even 32nd seed scored a 90 in qualifying here. So it's anyone's battle. And I'm just happy to watch all this going into every battle. You have no clue who's going to win or lose. And we'll see here, Keenan.
Yeah, in the game of whose lines it anyway here today at ESDA, the numbers are made up and the points don't matter.
Not at all, but we love to see it. And out of the gate, here we go, Alexander Jäger and Sami Saastamoinen in the chase. Big angle from Alexander Jäger and Sami getting to angle, but not as much as the lead driver. Through the transition, okay, Sami's starting to tuck on in there, going door to door with Alexander Jäger as they go up the hill into the decel zone. This is where we see problems before, and it seems like both drivers are giving each other a lot of space to just agree to not make contact there.
Yeah, solid lead from Alex. That's why he qualified so well. Not a bad chase from Sami. Would like to see him get a little bit closer, but ladies and gentlemen, happy Happy birthday, Sami Saastamoinen. I did not know about that. My man's going to be over having some Finnish vodka, having a great Saturday night. So thanks for spending it with us, Sammy. Hope you have a wonderful birthday. Hopefully this battle can be a gift, but he's going to have to work for it in the lead position. Not the worst chase, but I would like to see him, you know, match the angle a little bit more of Alex. It's definitely still close. It's definitely still doable, but we're going to need to see the best of Sami Saastamoinen in his lead.
For sure. And you know what, Sammy? I'll throw it in for you just because it's your birthday. I'll sing you a song if you win. So, we'll see here. A lot on the line now. Sami Saastamoinen leads Alexander Jaeger. Both drivers with an even shot currently still, I think, Keenan. I think both drivers didn't have anything too major to give up a win yet.
Here we go. Jaeger in the chase, our lone Swede in competition. And in the lead position, Sami Saastamoinen, I believe, one of our only Finnish drivers as well, trying to finish this battle in first place.
Yep.
Not the entry he was looking for from Jaeger, but he's going to get it to the door of Sami Saastamoinen. Have to put the pressure on here right now. If your lead chase driver doesn't get a good chase, you need to double down and put down a good chase, and that is what we're seeing from Alex. Not the best line from Sammy, not the best line from Alex. Good job from both to not make that a bigger issue than it was. But not the line that Alex was way too far to the outside. He almost made the same mistake Martinez Ostreka did, but gathered it up. Somebody's watching the stream, gathered it up, fixed it up, and made sure he did not make contact with that lead vehicle. Great job.
360s for the culture. You gotta throw it
in the return road. Excellent. Great job.
Perfect. I support all of this as we watch our replays here. Both drivers were in it to win it today. I think chase for chase, at least, Alexander just is going for it. But the leads, we'll see if that balances it out. So I think we might have a judgment in here as we hear and watch our replays. It's so close. So we're gonna slide him left for Alexander Jaeger, slide him right for birthday boy Sami Saastamoinen, keep him in the middle for an OMT. Die goes right.
Die, I don't think actually was supposed to go right. Die, so, yeah.
We'll live with it. That's okay.
So, we'll clarify here in a minute.
Sami Saastamoinen and one for OMT.
Yeah, so Die was the one that went OMT. The battle outcome is still the same. Congratulations, Sammy. Happy birthday. I translated it to finish, and I was going to say it. There's a lot of A's with doodads on them. I'm just going to not bother. I mean, that's my gift to him.
I got a birthday, so he won, right? We told him.
Sure did.
Okay, are we ready? This is your birthday song. It is not very long. Okay, moving on now.
Our final as
we got Joachim Hauge. And yeah, Adriel Machado. Get excited. Get the slow mode going again, folks.
I'm actually, no joke, enabling slow mode right now.
I it's only funny because it's not a joke.
I have absolutely enabled slow mode, and we will take it off after the battle is over.
As Joachim Hauge leads in that beautiful S15, as Adriel Machado in that giant Mustang in the chase here at Brazil. Adriel starting so far back.
Just to get that jump, he's able to jump it as the chase car. He's able to jump it whenever he wants.
See, I always think it never pays off.
Man, you'd be surprised as a battle starter. We'll talk about that later.
I don't care. We can talk about it, whatever. So we throw it on in here. Big angle for Joachim Hauge. Adriel Machado trying to keep up, but having to cut the angle to do so. They're a little bit of maybe bumping through that inside clip up the hill. Joachim not cutting as much angle as Adriel is cutting, and Adriel going wide through inside clip. That might be our deciding factor, Keenan.
Man, I gotta tell you, if there's ever a time to not make mistakes in the chase positions when you're going up against your number one qualifier, you needed to get as close and put all the pressure on that guy, and not the best chase from Adriel Machado. We pick it up halfway through here. It's not going to really matter because the big mistake to me no angle coming up the hill, wide coming into that last clip. Not huge mistakes, but we've talked about it again today. When the battles are this close, are going to be this close, you can't leave anything to the judges.
Not at all. And I think that was leaving it all up to the judges. And I think, unfortunately, Adriel's going to have to drive as fast as he can and just hope, pray that Joachim Hauge makes some form of mistake in the chase, because Joachim's lead was more or less as good as it's going to get in a battle's lead. Let's be real with each other, Keenan.
Very so.
I think Adriel's going to have his work cut out here to try and force an error just out of sheer speed.
Yeah, not impossible. We'll see what happens here. Adriel Machado in the lead position in the Mustang. Joachim Hauge in the chase in that VOSAN S15. Was on the podium last round, trying to make it 2 for 2. Nice job coming up the hill. No real mistakes from either driver so far. I think Joachim just leaving a little bit of gap. Oh my God, Adriel Machado, if that's how he's going out. Wall tap to the tires, definitely a tire off, but it looks super cool.
And Joachim kept his nose out of danger there, kept the good proximity overall, went wide through that inside clip, but I think that he was just mimicking Adriel's line, and I think that the drivers they already know what it is, so they're going to do some donuts for the culture now as we watch our replays.
Yeah, I think just... Machado, great solid lead. Maybe missed that inner clip there a little bit, but definitely I think he had a great chase in his first run. So I don't know if it was just nerves or what, but that's definitely going to cost him. As we do have a call, Joe.
Overall, and again, so far all of the battles have been pretty easy for our judges to decide here. And that is just due to such high level of driving. All the mistakes are very obvious. And I think we're going to slide him left for Joachim Hauge, slide him right for Adriel Machado. We're going to go 1 for Joachim Hauge, 2 for Joachim, and 3 for Joachim Hauge, as Adriel Machado is knocked out in the top 16 here at round 2 at his home track.
Hey, man, qualifying with a 90 is huge. Even making it in 32 is really big. He's got a battle win under his belt this year against someone who is no slouch, Vicarious Lucas. He got taken out.
First top 16 battle done. Next up, we got Sami versus Robert. This will be the last one before we get to our graded lobby number 2.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see it, and this is the heat's already turned up, and these are only top 16 battles here yet. We have a whole second half of the bracket still. So I think I'm excited for the top 4 here, but we still got to get through all these battles. So we're going to have Robert Kwasinski leading Sami Saastamoinen. As our first battle, our overlay might be a little bit backwards just due to seating differences. It's okay, don't worry. The 370Z will lead, I promise you. And we have Sami Saastamoinen as our birthday boy in the chase in that S15. As we line up. Okay, I think we're ready to see this battle begin as the lights come on. I want to feel like a magician when I say the lights go on, and away we go. There it is. Out of the gates, Robert Kwasinski, big angle. Sami Saastamoinen going in super hot, dropping tires to stay on the track and doing anything he can to claw back up to get proximity on Robert Kwasinski, who's cutting a little bit of angle to get up the hill. Big angle, and Sami just rushing up to the door in the diesel zone, but somehow not making contact as they go across the line, Ian. Jeez.
Yeah, Sami going a little bit wide, as you were saying, on the first corner. I saw him also bolt down the last inner clip as well in the final corner. And, Sami running on a good wave of emotion and hype. After all, he just took down last season's regular season champion in Zach Sullivan. So a good wave of momentum going in his favor as well. You see his driving being really smart, just kind of letting the lead driver do their thing in the places where they make the mistakes, pounce in opportune moments throughout the course. And that should be leaning in the favor. I believe they're going into the second half of this battle, potentially in Sami's half. But again, it's not over till the latest things. You got to get the second half done as well.
They hired singers for this round? I'm super excited.
Yeah, I heard you just a couple minutes ago.
Oh, yeah, but I already sang.
gotta get it again.
So Sami Saastamoinen in the lead now. Robert Kwasinski in the chase. Let's go on. Both these boys want to be in the top 8 to battle Brandon Gardner. And I think that's going to be an insane battle no matter who it is to get into the top 4 here of our Mazda Racing Group 2 here as lights out and away we go.
Yeah, we'll see what Sami can do in their chase. Roberts get the chance at the lead here. Second half of this final top 16 battle. Lobby number 2, beautifully getting into outer zone number 1, kind of falling short a little bit through the center, but fills up nicely for the second half. Charging aggressively in chase. Sami doing their best, making a little bit of contact in the front wheel well even, but matching angle beautifully on the exit of the Corsa and transitioning straight across the bumper and being very dropping his tire. More contact going to be made as well. Judges are definitely going to have a lot to look at here, especially going to that final corner. There's arguments for both drivers being at fault for multiple things here throughout the run. I gotta believe we'll go into it in depth on that replay, but wow, super aggressive first half and several mistakes somehow not leading to absolute carnage in the second half of this run.
And that was nuts. It was everything was well, good, and proper, and then we got to that last corner and just it turned into a bare knuckle boxing fight. It almost looked like Sami put a gap in there, might have slowed down a little bit later than Robert expected. Robert sucked back in. There was some contact, a lot of angle change, a lot of things happened there in that last corner, to say the least. And I would argue that might have been the most eventful corner of the entire top so far.
There was a lot to unpack there in that final corner, all the way from the outer zone into the inner clip. A lot happened in the chase position. You don't see it very well in the TV camera, but from the chase camera was where we've been watching and commentating from, at least on my end. I noticed that in chase there was a big tire drop for Robert. I believe that was in the. Actually, that would have been. I'm getting all kind of crossed up here, but basically the chase driver dropping a tire into the grass.
Yes.
It looks like that is going to be the reason for this. The judges see the decision coming in. I'll kind of elaborate on that as we get this decision in, but please, let's go ahead and get that on.
So we're going to slide him left for Sami Saastamoinen and slide him right for Robert Kwasinski. 1 for Sami. 2 for Sami. And a unanimous decision for Sami Saastamoinen beating Robert Kwasinski in the top 16 to move on to the top.
We may be incorrect on that one, actually. I believe it's all 3 Robert, and Sami was deemed at fault.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, so what you're seeing on screen is not correct. Actually, it is going to be Robert getting the win, all 3 in favor, saying Sami was deemed at fault for the contact. A little bit of a miscommunication in chat. I can see the reasoning for the awkwardness, but yeah, essentially they're saying that going into the final corner, Sami was then deemed at fault for the contact into the corner. So it is all good. We've got to figure out it is not Sami going on. It is Robert who is going to be going on. Robert will be facing Brandon, and he will be going for the top 4 spot out of lobby number 2.
Joachim Hauge. This is Norway versus, I believe, the Middle East.
Sure, I believe it.
All European battle here to see who's going to be the winner of your next level racing group number 1.
Happy to see it. So Mustafa Amin starting further back from Joachim Hauge, our current top qualifier. And everyone knows he's fast, so let's see what happens as they rip out of the gate. Joachim Hauge leads Mustafa Amin into the first outside zone. Joachim Hauge unfazed by the proximity that Mustafa is ripping through.
Oh my god, the proximity. Oh me.
Oh me, oh my, through that transition. Big angle addition.
Mustafa.
Little tap from the chase, but across the line, both drivers very happy.
Oh man.
Oh, I don't envy the judges.
I'm really sorry about cutting you off there, man, but what a chase from Mustafa. That might be the chase of the group so far. I'm seeing everybody supporting Mustafa in the chat. Not sure if that's just because Joachim took out Adriel and they don't like Joachim anymore, or just seeing how much pressure this man puts on in his chase battles. Not to take anything away from Joachim Hauge in that VOSAN S15. To have a good chase, you need a good lead, and it was buttery smooth in the lead, but there was no room for that man to maneuver because he had an RX-8 on his door at all times.
Yes, and we'll see what happens now when Joachim Hauge chases, and so far his performances have been nothing but stellar. So I think we will see what happens when Mustafa Amin tries to go as fast as he can and try and shake our current top qualifier in Joachim. As the lights, we are waiting for our lights to illuminate. There we go. And out they go.
Joachim Hauge in the VOSAN S15 in chase. Mustafa Amin in the lead in the JX team. RX-8, little bit of gap. Hauge is leaving, but here's the chance he's going to have to put the pressure on. Very shallow in chase. from Hauge, trying to stay on the door of that RX-8. So much speed in that Dorito machine in the lead position. Great job on the slowdown zone, maybe a little bit more angle from Amine, maybe a little bit of boop in there in the front fenders, but no harm, no foul. Joachim Hauge was working to keep up with that machine in the lead position, and it may just pay off for Mustafa Amin.
I think it may, but I think it might be worrying. It seemed to me, at least, that Mustafa was still decelerating outside of the decel zone, but I think our judges will have a better idea of that, because I know at least my camera angle hides a lot of the sins of driving, if you will. And I think,
we got replays. Let's go.
yeah, we got replays. Excellent. So let's see here. Let's look at our own fine-tooth comb, but it's like we're trying to find a grain of sand with a colander.
Yeah, there's so little mistakes from Hauge, but like I don't think I saw any from that RX-8. So I mean, like I said, we're going to be taking things that you guys might go, oh, that's not that big of a deal. Why are they being so harsh? When these guys are this close, you kind of have to be finding needles in a haystack with these runs. As I think we do have a call, Joe.
I think we do. And while we're waiting for that judgment, it seems that the drivers are happy just judging by their lovely donuts right now. So we're going to slide him left for Joachim Hauge. We're going to slide him right for Mustafa Amin. Joachim Hauge, our number 1 seed. Mustafa, our number 8 seed. Let's see here. 1 for Mustafa Amin. 2 for Mustafa, and 3 for Mustafa Amin. On upset, our number 8 seed takes out our number 1 qualifier to secure his next level racing Group 1 top 4 slot.
Yeah, incredible job. And the only words I saw from the judges were God tier chase. And I could not have put it better myself. Yep. Insane proximity, and it is so hard to keep that proximity going up the hill and still give that lead car room to transition, still give them room to maneuver, and keep the pressure